podcast. As always, I am your host, Smitty, back with another one, man. And as always, I'm excited to bring you this episode. We're getting deeper, we're getting more authentic, we're being more intentional. And if you haven't already liked, commented, subscribed, did all that good stuff with the channel, please tap in. It helps us to reach more people, helps us to get into more audiences. It helps this platform grow. And last time I checked, it is absolutely free. Please go do that. Tell a friend and tell a friend. It's only getting better from here. If this episode or any of these episodes have touched you in any way, impacted you in any way, or brought you to the point that you're back listening to another one, please share it with somebody and let's make this thing happen, man. We only get bigger from here. But let's get into the episode. So this is a new territory for Daily Dimensions. This is the second episode I've recorded in the same day. I had to change the shirt. You feel me? It looked different on camera. And you feel me? But audio wise, here we are as well. Second episode in the same day, man. We working, we getting things done. I'm trying to knock episodes out earlier so then I could just drop them as I want to. And then we don't have to be bi-weekly anymore. We could do the weekly thing. So I'm getting better. All right. I'm a work in progress. I'm making it happen. We're doing what needs to be done. I'm trying to record more in one day, but sometimes the episodes just come to you when they come to you. And this one happened to just fall right in my lap. You know, if you know me, I'm someone who I can be in my own head a lot. I think a lot. I look inward a lot. I'm a very introspective person. Like if you want some deep level conversation, come to me. I love it. I'm with all of that. But one thing that came to me immediately after finishing the last episode that we recorded was why, the question why. And I think that just the question why is one of the greatest questions in life. A lot of times people may think it's the how, but for me it's why. And because why is a reflection of us trying to gain understanding, and how to me feels more like a problem solving thing. Now stick with me. May have lost you already. We're going to have to put our thinking caps on for this episode. But think about when you're a kid and either whether when you were a kid or dealing with kids and kids always ask you why. Can I go outside? No. Why? Because it's cold outside. Why? Because it's winter. Why? Because seasons change. Why? Because of the cycle of the sun and the moon. Why? The rotation, and it's that searching for understanding that takes place when you keep asking the whys. And then somewhere along the line, I think it's kind of when we start going to school and the whys slowly go from a why to how. How do we do this? How do we do that? How do we solve for X? All these different things. It turns into hows, and it's like, how do we get to this equation? How do we get to this answer? How do we balance this equation? You feel me? Everything becomes a how. How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? And the teacher's job is to show you how to do it. So now you know how to do it yourself. And we start going from people who want to explore the whys of the world and start turning into problem solvers. And not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you don't want to be someone who's programmed to be a problem solver, right? Again, let's keep our thinking caps on. Jordan, where are you going with this? I myself was someone who became a problem solver. I turned into that person who was like, well, how can I do this? How can I help? How can I do this? How can I do that? And always looking at the hows left me neglecting the whys. Well, okay, why do I do what I do? Why is this the pattern of behavior I have? And you start to the whys help you look inward. The hows is all the external stuff. How does that happen? Et cetera, et cetera. How can I do this? How can I make that happen? How can I solve for this? How can I solve for that? And now everything in our life becomes us. When we're so focused on the hows, everything in our life becomes us putting out these little fires. It's a bunch of little fires all over the place. And it's like, okay, how can I stop that one? How can I stop that one? How can I stop that one? Okay, this bill's due this day. This person has to get to soccer practice. I got to register for this class by a certain time. I have to do this for my job. How do I get to $100,000 salary. How do I change my life and turn it around? How do I do this? And everything is us trying to solve a problem in our life. How do I turn my life around? How do I lose 100 pounds in 2 days? How do I get this money by tomorrow? You feel me? And everything turns into us being problem solvers. And we're so focused on the hows, even when it comes to our dreams. Okay, let's say your dream is to be a teacher, and it's like, well, how am I going to do this? Or how am I going to be successful in teaching? And it's like, yes, you can figure out the hows, but at the end of the day, to me, the whys are more important. Why do you do the things you do? Why do you want to do the things you do? Why do these things excite you? Why do these things not excite you? Why do you see the world the way that you see it? Why is your views and your mindset? Why are your thoughts, your beliefs, your vision? Why is it the way that it is? Why do you operate the way that you operate? And when we understand the whys, we can figure out the hows through getting to the whys. And when you understand why you do what you do, you have a greater understanding of self. And there's a lot of us who go around day to day just on autopilot, just doing things because this is how it's supposed to happen. This is how it's supposed to be. This is how we were taught, but never really going through the day and saying, why am I doing what it is I do? Why do I go to a job I hate every day? Why do I stay in a relationship that doesn't serve me? Why do I let people talk to me a certain way? Why is it that I indulge in these things that I indulge in? Why can't I say no to people? Feel me? Like, why can't you say no? Why do I always say yes to that person? And we really have to understand the whys, because if we want to change anything in our life, it really starts with the why. And if your why is strong enough, you'll make the change. And if your why is something that is exposing a problematic area in your life, it'll help you to better attack that issue and make that change. And the whys are extremely important. And I want to connect it to purpose and our careers and purpose. Sometimes they line up, sometimes they don't. So like, take this with a grain of salt, but there is this space we find ourselves in. I'm 29, I'm gonna be 30 in 2 months. And if we've survived our 25-year-old crisis, because that's a thing, it's something new, but it's a thing, a 25-year-old crisis. Now, I'm stepping into 30 and I'm excited about it. But I think the thing that is bringing me peace about it is because I feel like I found my purpose. And I understand why I do what I do. And not everyone, and I'm coming to see more and more, not everyone my age can say that. There are a lot of people my age that don't understand. Let me not say don't understand. Their why is different than my why. My why is more rooted in purpose, and their why is more rooted in a means to an end. Like, I do this because I have to. It's more obligation. You feel me? Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Their why is rooted in obligation. I go to work because I have to pay bills, like that kind of thing. I stay at this job I hate because I have things I need to do. That kind of thing. And that why is important to understand, but it's also an indicator that a change needs to take place, and I would love for us all to get to a space where our why is, I do this because I love this. And not everyone can say that. I want people's why to be, I do this because God called me to do this. I do this because I have a passion for this. I do this because God called me to do this and it makes me happy. And, I do this because I want to serve. And a lot of us, unfortunately, the way society is moving and shaking and the way inflation is crazy and all these different things, a lot of our whys is, I'm just trying to get paid, or I just want a nice lifestyle, and I just want some money in my pocket, and I just want to move out my mama crib, and I just want to, and our whys start getting rooted in material things and start getting rooted in feelings. I just want to stun on people. I just want to go on a nice vacation. I just want to feel happy, and sometimes that's the most painful why. Like, I just want to feel happy. I just want to feel seen, and when you really address the whys, it forces you to look inward. Like, why do you do what you do? And are you at peace with that why? Do I do this just because I want to feel good? Do I do this just because I don't want to feel lonely? Do I do this just because it brings me a slight level of satisfaction? Do I do this because I want to feel heard? Like, why do you do the things you do, and not just the big things, but the little things that really add up? Like, why do you talk to people the way you do? Why are you unapproachable? Why are you conflict avoidant? Why are you rude? Why is it that when there's things about you that need to change, it's this is just who I am? Like, why can't who you are evolve? There's a lot of whys. And when we really look at the whys, that's what helps us to really drive change in our lives. There's a lot of us who have things in our lives that we wish were different. And I think if the beginning of trying to make things different in our life starts with the why are we here in the first place? And before you can build on anything, you really have to address the why, and yesterday, or not yesterday, I'm talking yesterday, really earlier, but a different episode, I talked about my struggles with pornography. I had to ask myself, why do I do that? Why do I find myself in that space? And understanding that why is what's helping me stay away from it now. My why was like the feeling it gives me. And just it's filling a void that really I need God to fill that void. And I had to ask myself that why. Like, why what is this giving me that God can't give me? What is this doing for me? Like, why do I find myself in this same place over and over? And then and then asking for forgiveness, like, man, I shouldn't have did that. Like, God, help me. Why do I find myself in that space? And that's what's really helping me to make a change in my life. So if you find yourself struggling in any area, whether it's people you can't let go of, whether it's substances that you can't let go of, whether it's a life that you're not happy with, whether it's something that you are happy with, ask yourself why. And if the why helps you to make the change, perfect. And sometimes the why will help you to sustain what you have built. Why am I so happy? Oh, I've been doing the work. I've been trusting God more. I've been going to therapy. I've been working out. I do yoga and meditation. I walk and touch grass here and there and all these different things. Sometimes the why will help you with sustainability. So I think somewhere along the lines, we lost the whys for the hows and turned into problem solvers. And instead of people who are continuously trying to improve our lives and improve who we are, we stop trying to better ourselves and just start trying to pick up the pieces to keep some resemblance of a okay life, and then we find people who are 50s, 60s and retirement age, all these different things, who just were caught up in that machine and never became better, never advanced in life, never did anything really to write home about, didn't leave their mark on this world. And you really got to ask yourself the whys early, man. Let me tap into the notes, see what we didn't get. What's your why? I'm gonna tell y'all my why, man. Another thing too with it, like, again, I'm a very spirit-led, God-led person. I love Jesus, but when it comes to the whys, there's a scripture for every why. I promise you there is. And my why, one of the biggest whys in my life, because a lot of people ask me like, yo, Jordan, like, why'd you quit your job? Why'd you give your car away? Why did you drop everything to start a podcast? Like, why did you drop everything to be a motivational speaker? Why are you doing what you do? Because there are some people who are like evenly yoked with me, who see it and they're like, man, oh man, and I get it and they understand it. And I've met a lot of people on this journey who are in the same season I'm in, and it's a beautiful thing, man. But my why, because it wasn't easy. I really had to ask myself, like, God, is this really what you want me to do? Because I was walking away from a lot, and I'm not going to act like I was super comfortable with it. But my why was important to me because at the end of the day, it was what God wanted me to do. And I don't want to live a life where I look back and I'm like, dang, I didn't do what he wanted me to do. Like, I don't want to disappoint God in that way. I don't want to go against his word. I don't want to be disobedient. You know, it's an act of obedience, really. And my why is rooted in a lot of that. And one of the scriptures, one of the verses that brought me peace, and I unfortunately I do not have it, but we add it in post. It's gonna be on the screen. And there was a part in the Bible where, and feel me, paraphrasing here, really wish I had it in front of me, but there is a part where Jesus is speaking to this man who has essentially lived a good life. You feel me? It's like, God, I've done everything you asked me to. I've been living righteously. You feel me? I've been walking the right path. Done did everything you asked of me. Like, what else is there for me to really do? And he's like, yeah, you know, take everything you got, give it away, and follow me. And this is a rich man, you know, rich young dude. And he's like, yeah, take all your worldly possessions, everything you got, give it away, drop it all, step away from it, and follow me. And he couldn't do it. And he walked away sad because he couldn't let go of his things to follow God. And that's when he said, it is easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven. And I had to ask myself, I said, do I want to be that man that walked away sad because I couldn't detach from my material possessions to follow what God had for me? And that was enough why for me. There's other stuff included in there. And, you know, I sought counsel, like godly counsel for it, all types of different things. But like, that was one of my whys. Like, that's why I'm here today. And as far as the how, the how is where God comes in, because that's where faith is produced, because you don't always have to know how. Like, that's the real test of obedience. It's easy to step into something when we know how it's gonna work. Yeah, I need you to quit your job and sell everything and start doing this. Okay, well, how am I gonna sustain myself? How am I gonna pay my bills? How am I gonna get places? How am I gonna do this? And I promise you, every how am I gonna whatever, faith has answered that, man, and God has answered that. I ask myself all the time, how am I gonna get places? I promise you. Everywhere I need to get to, I've been getting there. How am I going to pay for this? Everything I've needed to pay for has been getting paid. How am I going to afford this? Everything I've needed to afford has been afforded, man. And it's been nothing short of God filling in the blanks. And a lot of times we want the blanks filled in beforehand, before we even really care about the why. You know, we want to know the how. Like, we want to solve every problem before we take action. And that's not faith. That's you just trying to keep a firm grip on everything. That's you trying to control everything. That's you trying to manage everything. And at the end of the day, God is asking us to leave the how to him. And you just got to step into the why. And the why is because this is what he called me to do, you know, and it's a beautiful thing, man. And I hope that in everyone's life, for you listening right now, whether you watching me right here through this screen that we share, or you're listening to my voice in your car on the way to work, or you in the gym tapped in, man, or it's late night, whatever it is, you just got off work. I really pray and I hope that you find your why, man, because I see too many people discouraged with life because they don't understand their why. And then the comparison creeps in and it's like, man, everyone else is so successful and I still don't know why I'm here. You know, I don't know why I even exist. I don't know why I matter in the world. I don't know why I'm even going to work today. I don't know why my life hasn't taken off the way I expected to. I don't know why I'm stuck here. I don't know why I haven't found love. I don't know why I'm still doing this thing. I don't know why I can't let go. And those whys, as much as we spoke earlier about how whys can really help you look inward and make a change, but sometimes those whys are really exposing a lot of broken pieces of ourselves. And that's okay. And that's all the more reason the why is important, because if we don't ask the why and we go around trying to solve all these things but never really acknowledge the whys and how we got here and why do we feel the way we feel, we can't really address it properly. We can't get to the root of what needs to be gotten to, man. And if you're someone struggling with that, I want to let you know you do matter, right? And as much as life may be beating you down right now, or you may just be content, but you just don't have all the answers that you're looking for, I'm telling you, keep looking inward. You'll find that why. You'll find the why that's filled with purpose and love and intention. And sometimes we need help to do that work. I know for myself, I absolutely have needed help doing that work, which is why I'm in therapy now. My therapist is dope. I be recommending him to everybody. I don't even know if he got room on his schedule. I be sending that email to everybody. I be like, yo, go to him. Go to him. Please go to him. He's starting his own private practice. Go to him. Yeah, that's my boy, man. And I recommend a couple other people too, man. But that's what's helped me find different layers of this why as well. Like for a lot of my negative behaviors, why am I codependent when it comes to relationships? Why do I allow certain things? Why did I not set boundaries before? All of this different stuff. So like the why is really important, and if you find yourself stuck at any point in life, you just feel stuck, because that's a common feeling. Ask yourself, what is the why? Why am I stuck right now? Sometimes it's just you're in a holding pattern. Sometimes you need to learn something and you're continuing to repeat this season because you haven't sat there and really like tried to learn. The message ain't getting through. So now you keep repeating the grade. You keep repeating the class. You feel me? You got all these withdrawals on your transcript. You need to finally get them 3 credits and pass the class, dog. Like you really got to. So yeah, really asking the whys. Let's see if we missed anything. Identity and a why. We kind of tapped into that. We've been dancing around it. We've been on it, but like a lot of times whys helps us find our identity, or the proof of our identity is in a why. Like, who am I? A lot of times we ask ourselves that, who am I? And a lot of who you are is found in the why you do what you do. Like I sit here and I do this. You feel me? We got daily dimensions painting on the wall. You see it over my shoulder right here. We got the shirt, the merchandise, we got everything, man. And it's like, well, why do I do what I do? And then through that, I found identity, and an identity that's rooted in God and what he would have me do, and an identity that's rooted in trying to change the culture around me and impact lives and help people get one step closer to healing, one step closer to a deeper relationship with God, and just getting better, man. Like just getting better, because life is difficult. I don't know about any other generation, but my generation specifically, life has been rough. We're that generation that they told, go to college, go to college, go to college. And then we get out of college and it ain't no jobs. And then the jobs we do get, they ain't paying enough. And we going to be paying these student loans off. It's projected to be forever. And then we finally start making good money. Then inflation kicks up and housing is crazy. The supply and demand was wild. The interest rates were great, but it wasn't no houses out there. And then now there's houses, but the interest rate is crazy. It's everything is going against us, and the ability to have the life that our parents wanted us to have and that we're supposed to have. Like, it's just that dang near impossible. You can't live anywhere without a roommate. You feel me? It's a lot happening, man. Everything is just so expensive. The price of a used car is crazy. They still selling 2005s for absurd amounts of money. Dang near 200,000 miles on it. Still trying to push it for almost 5 figures. Like, it's crazy. It's absurd, man. But everything is wild. Life is hard right now, man. And with it being that hard, a lot of time, like, we really got to look into the whys, because that will get you through. That will get you through the whys, man. Like, this is why I'm here. It sucks right now, but this is why I'm here. It's rough right now, but this is why I'm here. I'm broke right now, but this is why I'm here. I'm sad right now, but this is why I'm here. I'm lonely right now, but this is why I'm here. I'm confused right now. I'm lost right now, but this is why I'm here. And that will get you through, man. Them whys are extremely important, and you got to know your why. So if you need help looking inward, If you need help getting connected with therapy, resources, whatever it may be, if you just feel lost and you don't know where you're going, I'm here for you, man. Reach out to me, talk to me. I can point you in the right direction. If you just want shoot a little DM, one-on-one, whatever it may be. You want to email me and be anonymous, whatever it may be, man, I'm here to help, because I've been that person who was lost and didn't know they why. I've been that person who was like, I just don't want to be on this planet no more. I just don't want to be alive anymore. I just don't want to exist no more, because the pressure to just exist, like just existing, costs you money. It's so much pressure. So I know what it's like to be there, man. And it's a rough place to be, but having found my why is what gets me through these difficult days, man. And having a deep relationship with God and a enhanced faith is what gets me through these difficult days, because there are a lot of days, I've said it many of times on this platform, where this right here, I just want to scrap it and I want to get on Indeed and just go get a job. And it's like, nah, I understand my why. And this is a part of the process, man. So I'm here. So if you or anyone else you know is trying to discover your why, send them my way. I appreciate y'all for tapping into this episode. Let's transition from the hows to the whys, and let's continue to live a purpose-filled life, man. This is Daily Dimensions. Until next time, I love y'all, man. Peace.